you guys, let's go ahead and get started. I know you are just so anxious, right? Everybody's pumped, ready. It's Wednesday. Is it Wednesday where everybody's at? I don't know about y'all, but I'm so excited that it's Wednesday, halfway through the work week, which I work on weekends too, so it's not like it's halfway through the week, but it's kind of halfway through the week, you know? Do you feel like that? If y'all have weekend jobs too? All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. So, just a couple of informational things to share with you guys. Some of you've heard this before, but I see quite a few new people, so I can't help myself. I always have to share resources with people because it's just part of my nature to not, I'm not going to gatekeep. So, take a screenshot of this page right here. This is a great, helpful, QR code friendly page. This, and also if you didn't know this, just FYI, because I don't gatekeep. So if you have an iPhone, I don't know about Androids, and I do love an Android, so don't take it like I don't, but I love them. But with an iPhone, if you take a screenshot of this, then you can go into your photos and you can actually click right into the QR codes. I'm sure all of you probably already have known this for a long, long time, but that's something I learned just a couple months ago. And I mean, hello, that changed my life. So, just sharing. Um, but if you are interested in free live webinars, then make sure to check out our list. We have all of our April webinars posted. We are working on getting May's posted up there, and we have lots of good stuff coming. This is the third section of the reading, so if you're just joining in, no worries, because guess what? I'll be right back here next week, and I'll be starting the cycle all over again. So make sure to join in. But if you want to rewatch any webinars, we got you covered with the code here. If you are interested in some study questions and you want to get some, experience on what you might see and how it might go, make sure to check out our question bank. We call it our Q bank. It is growing every day, every day. So make sure to check that out. New questions are being added all the time. Make sure to check that out. And you can get a free trial with that. If we are covering something, so last night we were talking about everything for section 3, and you're like, man, I really want to go and look at themes a little bit closer. I really just need a little bit more of a closer look and further explanation on that topic. Well, on-demand videos, that's where you're really going to get that information. You can go through the list, click on the timestamp. We have everything timestamped, so you can go specifically to the part of the video that pertains to what you want to know. So no more days of sitting there listening to an hour-long video, waiting and waiting and waiting, or just trying to scroll and find where it is that you want to listen to just that one part. You can actually click on the timestamp and it'll take you right to it. So it's such a lifesaver when you're trying to find something specific and you don't want to sit there and have to watch a whole video on other things that you're not really concerned about. If you do the on-demand videos, you also get notes. So make sure to check that out. These webinars are meant to be like an all-in-one, and then they're a general overview of each section, but they're not going to give you that deep dive if you need help on specific topics. So make sure to check that out. If you're interested in tutoring, you want to sit down and chat with me or Brandon or Shelly, make sure to check out our tutoring page. We have all subjects covered, so I'll do English and reading. Brandon is on the math, Shelly's on the science, and we have a great new option. We've had 1 hour blocks, but now we have 30-minute blocks. So if you are, short on time, or, you just got to budget your money, those 30-minute sessions, they're perfect for, quick get in, get some tutoring done, ask some questions, look at some stuff, and then you can go right back to studying. So make sure to check out that. And I do want to say that if you don't see a time up there that works for your schedule, email us at prenursing@archerreview.com, and we will work our bet or try our hardest to see what we can open up and make available that works with your schedule. So never feel like, oh, well, there's not time, so that's not for me. You know what? We got you covered. We will always try to be, we will always try to look out for our students. So email us at prenursing@archerreview.com. Okay? Because if that's one thing, we definitely care, and we definitely want to make sure that you get in tutoring time if you're interested in it. SurePass and SurePass Pro. So those are discount options if you're looking to, get your bang for your buck. So you can get a SurePass, and that will get you a discounted bundle on the QBank with the questions and the on-demand videos. SurePass Pro is where you really get your bang for your buck, and you can get QBank, on-demand videos, and a discount on tutoring. That's really where it's at right there. So make sure to check all that stuff out. All right. So that was a lot of information. Anybody got any questions before we go on? And crickets. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump on into our practice test for tonight. That's what everybody's here for. So last night, just a quick overview, we did the test prep. We talked about 3.1 with inferences, drawing conclusions, making predictions. 3.2, we talked about how to compare and contrast themes. And then 3.3, analyzing an argument. And 3.4, analyzing and incorporating data from multiple sources. So tonight, unfortunately, because of the time, we don't have, and we have 4 sections to kind of get through. I have several questions for each of these sections, but I would say that you should check out our QBank because you can get a lot more of a variety of questions in the QBank. So there's only but so much I can put on a screen like this. So for those longer passages, it's really hard, and I'm still trying to work on how to get those longer passages up here. So had to keep it kind of short, sweet, and simple for tonight. We've still got some good stuff, but I would say if you're looking at practicing for those longer questions, make sure to check out that QBank, okay? All right, so diving right on into, oh heavens, I'm so sorry. My voice just tried to go out on me. I sounded like a little teenage boy. All right, so 3.1, making predictions, inferences, drawing conclusions. All right, so this is just the objectives. I don't know why I always put that up there, but I do. Okay, so let's go ahead and go. What I want you to do is, if you're on Zoom, use the chat box, not the Q&A, but the chat box. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, hit up that comment section. If you're on Instagram, same thing for you guys. I want to see what your answers are. Kind of gives me a good gauge on where you're at. All right, so let's get rolling. Maria rushed into the coffee shop, her clothes soaked from the sudden downpour outside. She glanced at her watch, frowned, and muttered, "I can't believe I'm late again." She scanned the room, then hurried over to a table in the corner where a man sat checking his phone. As she approached, he looked up and smiled. "Still raining?" Which of the following can be inferred from the passage? Is it A, Maria enjoys arriving early to her meetings? B, the man at the table is a complete stranger to Maria. C, Maria had planned to meet the man and is running late. Or D, Maria forgot her umbrella at home. Now remember, one tip that we talked about last night was to ask it as if it were a yes or no question. So try putting yes or no at the beginning of those statements. Yes or no, Maria enjoys arriving early to her meetings. Okay? Take a couple seconds, let me know what your answers are, and then I'll reveal the correct answer. All right, last call for answers. Well, hey, YouTube, look at you joining in. Love it. I love it. All right, so the correct answer is C. Maria had planned to meet the man and is running late. Now, remember, like I said, try asking it as if it were a yes or no question. Yes or no. Maria enjoys arriving early to her meetings. Well, there was nothing in that passage that would imply that. Remember, we have to go based off the information provided. While that statement's not going to be found directly in the passage, we have to determine it. We have to determine yes or no based off the information in the passage. B, the man at the table is a complete stranger to Maria. Yes or no? So, with that one, you would almost think, that could be. However, was there any implication as to if he was a friend, an acquaintance, or a complete stranger? Based off what information we're given in the passage, that is not a conclusion. That's not an inference we can make. Okay? The passage didn't give us enough information to draw that conclusion. So we have to answer no because we just don't know. And we're not going to assume because you know what they say about if you assume. I'm not going to say it on here, but you know. Um, then the information cannot be expressed explicitly. Right. So it's not going to always be stated word for word. That's why we're drawing conclusions, making inferences, but we have to base those off of the information that's provided. Okay. Now, C, Maria planned to meet the man and is running late. Well, I can't believe I'm late again. So, that tells us right there. It actually tells us that she's running late. She planned to meet the man. Well, she scanned the room. She hurried over to the table where the man sat checking his phone. So that implies that, she was meeting him. He looked up and smiled. I mean, maybe he was kind of smiling because she was soaking wet, but, maybe it was a warm greeting. But there's enough in there that we can say, yes, she probably planned to meet the man and is running late. We know that she's running late. And if she was, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not going to go out to a coffee shop in the pouring rain if I don't, need to meet somebody. I mean, the coffee's good, but it can't be that good. I'm going to go get soaking wet to go get it. I mean, maybe it is, but I don't know. And indeed, Maria forgot her umbrella at home. Yes, we do see that she's soaked from the sudden downpour outside, but it says sudden downpour. Maybe she didn't know it was going to rain, so maybe she didn't even bring her umbrella. Maybe she's like me, and I mean, just the freak accidents always happen, and her umbrella, was swept away by the wind, turned inside out, and blew down the street and hit her car. I mean, because I'm not going to lie, like, that is what my life would consist of. So the part about running late, yeah, that's stated because she makes that comment about being late. It's the other part that we're drawing that inference about. So that's kind of like the hidden thing. But yeah, they're not always going to be stated like that. This is kind of like a warm-up one. All right. Y'all ready for another one? All right, let's try this one. Now I'm gonna read it because I have had people say that they prefer me to read it out loud because they're, having to listen and join in. So I'm gonna do that. If you don't prefer that, maybe mute me for a couple seconds on your end, but I'm gonna, yeah, he smiled. That's a good way to pull that out. But I'm gonna go ahead and read this, okay, everyone? All right, ready? The rise of electric vehicles, EVs, has transformed the transportation industry, offering a cleaner alternative to traditional gasoline-powered cars. Many countries have introduced tax incentives and subsidies to encourage the adoption of EVs, while automakers are investing heavily in battery technology and charging infrastructure. As a result, EV sales have increased significantly over the past decade. However, challenges remain, including limited charging stations in rural areas. I always hate that word. I always pronounce it wrong because of my accent. Sorry, I digress. And the environmental impact of battery production. Experts believe that with continued innovation and government support, EVs will play a central role in reducing carbon emissions and achieving long-term sustainability goals. Which of the following statements can be inferred from the passage? Okay, so remember, ask yourself yes or no. A, EVs are expected to play a key role in reducing environmental pollution. B, all countries have already banned gasoline-powered vehicles. C, the production of EV batteries has no environmental impact. D, automakers are not interested in developing electric vehicles. Okay, take a couple seconds and tell me what you think the answer is. All right, last call for answers. And for this one, it would be A. Good job. Now, just by a quick, not really a show of hands, but a yes or a no, how many of you are trying the yes or no option? And is it helping? I just like to know because I like to, what's working for students and what's not. Okay, I see a couple people. Oh, okay, awesome. Okay. Well, that's good to know. I really like to get that feedback from students because I like to know if it's, if it's working, if it's not, do I need to kind of change up my ways of helping? Awesome. All right. Well, great job, everyone. Hopefully that first one was a good warm up for this one, and it looks like it was. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Remote work has become increasingly popular since the global pandemic, prompting many companies to adopt flexible working policies. Employees report higher job satisfaction, better work life balance, and increased productivity when given the option to work from home. Employers also benefit by reducing overhead costs such as office rent and utilities. However, challenges like maintaining team communication, managing time zones, and preventing employee burnout remain important concerns. As remote work continues to evolve, businesses are exploring hybrid models that combine in person and virtual collaboration. Which of the following statements can be inferred from the passage? Is it A, remote work has completely replaced in person work in all industries? B, remote work offers benefits but also presents some ongoing challenges? C, employers are shutting down all physical office spaces permanently? Or D, employees prefer remote work because it reduces their salaries? All right, take a couple seconds. Let me know what your thoughts are. Mm, you're between those two. Did you try the yes or no? Did that help? Is that how you got it narrowed down to those two? Okay. So try to think about only the information that's provided within the passage. Okay. All right, let's look at our correct answer. Oh, someone just asked, can you give longer passages with the next questions because that's how TEAS gives us. So, unfortunately, because my screen is only but so small and because it's really hard to, do those scrollings with this, I was not able to fit that in tonight. But like I was saying, the Q Bank does have some, and I've got multi-paragraph passages written out up there. So maybe give that a go. Um, I know I do hate that it's just not easy for me to be able to screen, multi-paragraph passages because I can't put them all in one page. I'm gonna try to play around with that. I'm gonna keep playing around with it. But for tonight, I just couldn't. Okay, well, thank you. Oh, the size of these passages right here, is that what you meant about being sufficient? Okay, perfect. Thank you for that feedback. I'm telling y'all, I do. I know people probably don't think that instructors and professors want to hear feedback, but I really do enjoy it. So thank you. All right, so let's take a look. We got our answers in, and I know some people were between some, but remember, when we're finding our correct answer, we're only taking into consideration what's been provided up here. We are not making assumptions. We are drawing conclusions and making inferences. Okay, big thing to remember there. All right, so the correct answer for this one was B. Okay, so A, yes or no, remote work has completely replaced in-person work in all industries. Well, I there wasn't really it says it's become increasingly popular since the global pandemic. Employers, but it does not make any reference to the fact that it's applying to all fields. So that's the big thing to keep in mind there. Because, there's some jobs, I mean, think about electricians, for example. Okay, y'all remember my story about the plumber? Well, let's talk about the plumbers. So you got to have a plumber come in. They can't do that remote work, can they? I would not even want to even think about a plumber trying to get on FaceTime and try to tell me how to, fix a pipe or heaven forbid, a toilet. So that's not going to be something, and we can't base that off of this one. B, remote work offers benefits but also presents ongoing challenges. Well, it talks about, higher job satisfaction, better work-life balance, increased productivity. So we get the benefits, but then it talks about challenges like team communication, managing time zones. I'm gonna tell you what, just from personal experience, like, that's a big one right there. Preventing employee burnout. I mean, me, I work remotely, and I'm gonna tell you, I work all hours of the day, all night long. So, not that it's necessarily burnout, it's just I don't know when to stop. Um, so B, that one is addressed. So yes. C, employers are shutting down all physical office spaces. Now it mentioned that you can save money on rent, but it's not saying that they necessarily are getting rid of all of their offices completely. What if they're just downsizing to a smaller office for those essential personnel? I mean, you got to have a mailing address. So, I mean, maybe you got a PO box, but you might still have to have um packages delivered to an office space or something. So we can't really make that assumption that it's all. The key word there is all physical office spaces. And in A, all industries. You want to be careful with those words like that, all. It's too encompassing, and that's not necessarily going to be covered in that passage. I don't think anyone put D, but just in case, yes or no, employees prefer remote work because it reduces their salaries. That's going to be a no for me. Okay. I mean, remember we talked about with inferences and drawing conclusions. Use your own personal experience. Put yourself, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not going to prefer remote work if it reduces my salary, you know, especially in this economy. Like, I got to have all the money I can because we go through an 18 count of eggs each week, and that's like $10 a week. So I can't take a pay cut just to work remotely. You know what I mean? So just be careful of that. All right. Any questions? All right. Let's try another one. Organic farming is gaining popularity among consumers who seek healthier food options and environmentally sustainable practices. Unlike conventional farming, organic methods avoid synthetic pesticides and fertilizers, relying instead on crop rotation, composting. Ooh, why was that word difficult? Composting and natural pest control. Advocates argue that organic food is better for both personal health and soil quality. Despite the benefits, organic produce tends to be more expensive due to higher labor costs and lower crop yields. Sorry. Still, demand continues to grow as awareness of food sources and environmental impact increases. Which of the following statements can be inferred from the passage? Is it A, organic farming reduces the use of synthetic chemicals in agriculture? B, organic produce is cheaper than conventionally grown produce? C, all farms have now converted to organic methods? D, consumers are unaware of how their food is produced. All right. Where? It says it. YouTube. Oh, okay. Maybe that was on the other page. Hold on. All right, you guys get your answers. Okay. All right. Everybody ready? Steady. Brace yourself. And the correct answer is, oh, it did? Oh, okay. That was when I switched over to the answer slide. Wait, what? Oh no, Instagram. I lost my stream. Hold on, everyone. Pause un momento, por favor. My screen share has went away over on Instagram. There we go. Let's try this. Instagram, are you there? What is it doing? Wait, I don't want picture in picture. There we go. Okay, Instagram, can you see it now? That's so weird. It was up there. Why did it go away? Instagram, can you see? Okay, awesome. Okay. Oh, I tell you, this technology. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you so much for letting me know that because sometimes I can't see it all on all these different screens at the same time. And then I also get distracted. I'm like a squirrel. I like, you know that squirrel. Okay. All right. So, correct answer is, hold on. I lost my mouse. A. I think everybody got that right. And you can hear now? Oh my goodness. I didn't even know Instagram. Yum, thank you so much for letting me know. See, this is why I like the feedback. All right. Any questions on that one? All right. Let's do, I think this is the last one for this section. We're going to try to pump it up since we're only really supposed to have like an hour, hour and a half at the most. So we're going to try to knock through these. So, renewable energy sources such as wind, solar, and hydropower are seen as critical in the fight against climate change. These energy forms produce little to no greenhouse gas emissions and are considered more sustainable than fossil fuels. Government subsidies and technological advances have made renewables more accessible and cost effective in recent years. Nevertheless, some obstacles remain, including the need for better energy storage solutions and grid infrastructure. As nations aim to reduce their carbon footprints, investment in renewable energy is expected to grow substantially. Which of the following statements can be inferred from the passage? A. Renewable energy is completely free to produce and store. B. Fossil fuels are more sustainable than renewable sources. C. The transition to renewable energy involves both progress and challenges. D. Greenhouse gas emissions are not affected by energy production. All right, so get your answers in. Okay. Well, maybe when you try the Q bank, try that out and try that yes or no option to see if that can help kind of speed you up in your answer selections. All right. All right, get your answers in. All right, so paranoid, I'm gonna keep going back to Instagram, making sure that video doesn't go away. All right, and last call for answers. And here we go. It is C. Good job, everybody. Any questions? All right. Now remember, if you've gotten some right, but then you get some wrong, don't beat yourself up over that because guess what? Maybe this is the first time you've practiced it. We just talked about it last night. If this is your first time practicing and answering questions, I personally, even as an instructor, would not expect a 100 on a test I gave the next night. Okay. I mean, unless you were just like living, breathing, sleeping this all day today, I wouldn't expect that. So don't beat yourself up, okay? Remember, practice makes perfect. We got that Q bank over there, so you can go back and ask questions. You can do a back and do practice questions. So just remember that, okay? This is a learning environment. So 3.2, compare and contrast themes located in one or more texts. Now, I will start this section off by saying that because of the space, I could not do super long passages. I tried to keep it so it was comfortably fitting on the page. I've had students tell me before that they don't like when I have to scroll because not everybody's on the same page. Some students like to be able to see the question and the text at the same time because they've got to go back and look at it. So I tried to keep all that feedback in mind. So just keep that in mind as well. Okay, so I tried to do a little bit shorter passages, but again, QBank has a lot of those longer passages that you can take a look at. Okay. All right. So, because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. The carriage held but just ourselves and immortality. So, this is just a portion out of Because I Could Not Stop for Death by Emily Dickinson. How does the author illustrate the theme of the poem? Okay, just even in this short excerpt that I pulled out. Is it A, the use of personification to explore mortality and the acceptance of death? Is it B, the use of satire to criticize society's views of the afterlife? Is it C, the use of oh, sorry, I got distracted by a question. The use of a scientific metaphor to describe natural cycles, or D, the use of multiple speakers to contrast life or death? Hold on, let me get back over to this Instagram question. Very, very bad graphs for the reading section. Oh, could you elaborate on that? I would love some more feedback on that. If you don't mind. I would love to know a little bit more about what you mean there. Like, are they really hard? Is that what you mean? All right. Last call for answers. Okay. Oh. That's interesting. I know, like, mine, they were just like when I took the TEAS. Yes, I did take the TEAS actually. So I have lived in your seats with all of my anxiety. But that's interesting to know. Mine were very interesting as well, I guess is the best way I can say it. All right, so let's see. Correct answer is A, the use of personification to explore mortality and the acceptance of death. Okay, so here, because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. So you just joined in. This is reading. We're in the third section of the reading. Welcome. So we gave personification, and we made him almost into a person. The carriage held but just ourselves. So it's almost like we've got a friend, or, we've picked up someone from the side of the road in our carriage and they're riding with us. And immortality. So because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. So kindly, stopping and picking death up. So making it almost like death is a person, like the Grim Reaper. So there's that personification. Okay, satire. Now, satire is when you're making fun of something. So we're not really making fun of death here. So we would rule that one out. The scientific metaphor, well, I don't know about y'all, but I don't see anything scientific there. So I would definitely rule out C on that one. And then the use of multiple speakers. Well, but it's all first. Kindly stop for me. It's not me speaking or one person speaking and then death speaking as well. So we would rule that one out. So through process of elimination, that's another way if you're not maybe sure about what personification is, because I know that can be a little tricky. But I don't know about y'all, but I love a list and I love being able to check things off a list because Again, I suffer from test anxiety even to this day. If I were going to have to go sit and take a test, I'm going to have test anxiety. But I've learned some coping skills for that. And one of those is I need something to ground me. When I start to get overwhelmed with a question or with a task, I need to be grounded. So I use process of elimination to help me feel less overwhelmed. So if that's something that you face and you just get kind of, as the Who's from Whoville would say, cabozzled, then try that approach as well. Okay, maybe that'll work for you. Not sure, everybody's different, but just wanted to throw that out there. All right, he means what? So he is a pronoun. So that's where, again, it's making death into a person. We're saying that it's a person. So we're using he as a pronoun for death, which is odd, but it's what Miss Emily did. A thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words. Oh no. Can everyone still hear me? Okay. All right. Sorry. I got a notification that my stuff was going out. Just making sure again. I tell y'all, I'm paranoid about it now. All right. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. That's an excerpt from Hope is the Thing with Feathers by Emily Dickinson. Can you tell I really like her? So, what is the main theme of this poem? Is it A, hope is fragile and easily lost? B, hope depends on external circumstances? C, hope is a constant and uplifting presence within us? Or D, hope only exists in times of success? All right, give me your answers. All right, and the correct answer is C. Great job, everyone. All right, does anybody have any questions? What are the keywords to point out to get to C? So, will the poem be this short on the test? Maybe. I have seen where they've done small excerpts, but I have seen really long ones as well. So, be prepared for that. Like I said, I really try to keep it short because I only have this much space um to get it out to you. But QBank, I have one that's a really long poem. So if you're interested in that, make sure to check out that QBank because actually I think I have like 4 or 5 that are pretty lengthy as far as poems. Because I know poems are the ones that tend to give people the most problems. And I get it because I'm gonna tell you what, when I was going through undergraduate school, oh, did I hate the poetry section. Yeah, I would rather much even focused on nonfiction. But then I kind of got the hang of the poetry and really just, learned to kind of break it down. So someone asked me, what's the keywords to point out to get to C? So what is the main theme? Hope is a constant and uplifting presence within us. So hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. Okay, so never stops at all. That's going to give us that It's uplifting. That's where you're getting that uplifting part of it, is from singing the tunes without the words. Does that help? You're welcome. Great questions tonight, you guys. All right, now for this section, I did also include questions like this because I have seen where you could get these types as well. So just general questions like, what is the primary role of the setting in a story? Okay, so it's kind of like a little pop quiz. A, introducing the main characters. B, pushing the sequence of events. C, provide the context and atmosphere. D, resolve conflict and conclude the narrative. So we talked about this last night. What is the primary role of the setting? Someone has a question. Are we covering all the topics for the reading section today? No. So we're actually just covering the third section. We're covering all the subtopics for the third section, though. And then next week we'll restart over the cycle for the English and the reading. So this is just the third section we're covering. All right, last call for answers. And the correct answer is C. Provide the context and atmosphere. All right. Any questions? So this is why I really push terminology and try to make sure that you guys understand that, because again, those kind of questions can pop up. All right, here's one more. What is the primary role of narration within a story? Is it A, introduces characters and the setting? B, develop the central conflict? C, tell the story and provide perspective? D, resolve the conflict and conclude? So what would you say the primary role? Job number one. Oh, it does? My voice keeps cutting out. Is that happening for several of you? Is that happening for anyone else? It is. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on there. Let me know if it keeps happening, okay? It might be a restream connection. I guess I was just too excited for it to be Wednesday. The universe was like, let's have some technology problems. All right, so the correct answer for this one is C. Okay, the primary role is to tell the story and provide perspective. Okay, any questions? Analyses, so make sure you study those. If you did not, that's okay. So for the QBank, we do offer a free trial, but you do have to pay at a certain point. But if you want to get a discount, you can actually get a discount on if you bundle and do QBank with the on-demand, or if you do QBank with on-demand and tutoring, you can get a discount on all three of those. Oh, oh no, 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 no. Don't look at that. Okay. So somebody said that, oh, Instagram, you can hear me fine. So maybe it's a Zoom connection thing. So someone said they almost picked A. Was that for this one? Introduce character in the settings. So that's just a part of the plot. So that's part of plot. So be careful with that. Narration is going to go throughout the story. Oh, you're welcome over there on Zoom with that question about the QBank. Okay, so yeah, so that one, that's plot. A would be plot. That's that part of the story. but I can see where you would think that was narration. Okay, so back to these questions. Yes, narration is telling the story. That's right. All right, so read this sentence and answer the following question. The last person who won the lottery ended up bankrupt and homeless. Winning the lottery must, in fact, be a curse. What fallacy is being committed in the sentence? Is it A, an ad hominem fallacy, B, a hasty generalization, C, circular reasoning, or D, appeal to authority? What would you say? The last person who won the lottery ended up bankrupt and homeless. Winning the lottery must, in fact, be a curse. All right, get your answers in. All right, and the correct answer is B, hasty generalization. So you're making an assumption over the last person. Now, just a quick quiz within a quiz. Can anyone tell me what the ad hominem fallacy is? What kind of fallacy is that? Ad hominem. Do you remember? Yes. So a ad hominem fallacy is where you're attacking the person instead of the actual argument. So if we had attacked a singular person, then that would have been an ad hominem fallacy. Okay? But we weren't attacking a person. We were making a general assumption about all winners of the lottery or about the lottery itself based off of what happened to another person. So ad hominem is, sorry, I got distracted. Oh, all these questions, all these screens. I can't tell if it's questions or people joining in. But ad hominem, that's where you're attacking the person. Okay. So, but did we actually say, did we say something mean about that last person? We just made a general statement that that person ended up bankrupt and homeless. We didn't necessarily attack that person. We didn't say that, oh, people that play the lottery are no good, rotten, dirty scoundrels, right? So we didn't really attack the person. We made a general assumption about the lottery based off what happened to one person, which just happened to be the last person. It could have even said the first one. Um, I think I just answered that question. Could I provide an example of an ad hominem? So if I just said that people, so Bob plays the lottery, therefore Bob must, not intend to ever get a job. Or people with red hair are dirty. I don't even know why I came up with that. I feel like because I used to get teased when I was little because I had a little bit of red hair. Or if you say that people from the South are dumb because of their accent, that would be an ad hominem. So I tell people, I sound like a cornbread chipmunk, but I do know my grammar. I just talk with a lot of slang. Circular reasoning. So remember, someone asked me if I could define all of them. Circular reasoning. That means that you're just pretty much saying the same thing over. So if you say, ABC company is, yes, talking in circles and not answering. Perfect. That's a great way to say that. So, ABC company is the best one for the job because they could do good work. You know? That's just kind of going around in circles. You didn't really give solid evidence. Like ABC company is the best person to put up your fence because they have a reputation for maintaining customer satisfaction. That would be a general statement I mean, just be a solid statement. But if I just say, oh, ABC company's the best because they do good work, well, you just kind of said the same thing. You didn't really give me any evidence there. Appeal to authority. So appeal, let me see if I can come up with an example to appeal with authority. Um, Give me a minute. Un momento. Hmm. So if you said, oh, this celebrity says this is the best toothpaste ever, well, appeal to authority. So we're taking it at their word because they're a celebrity. Or if you say, my nutritionist says that all carbs are bad. So you're saying that because they're a nutritionist that their word is law. So would circular reasoning not include any factual evidence? Yeah, pretty much. It's just talking in circles. I mean, literally, that's where that came from. So, no, not attack on authority, appeal to authority. Now, if I said that, Dr. Zanzibar um has witnessed 3 out of 5 patients um getting cavities even after using this toothpaste, then he's backing it up with statistics. But if you just say that, oh, I don't know, Shaquille O'Neal says that Pizza Hut is the best pizza. So you're saying that Pizza Hut's the best pizza because the previous basketball player endorses it, but what makes him an expert on pizza? You know? I mean, maybe he is, but does he have any credentials to be? So that does that help you guys? Awesome. All right. Let's try another one. Read the sentence, answer the following question. Of course, you promote Small Business Saturday. You own a clothing boutique. What fallacy is being committed in this sentence? Ad hominem fallacy. B. Hasty generalization. C. Circular reasoning. Or D. Appeal to authority. Oh, I couldn't get that one out. What would you say? This one's a little tricky, isn't it? I don't know if y'all heard the attitude in my voice when I read this because I couldn't even like check myself. It just came right out. Of course, you promote Small Business Saturday. You own a clothing boutique. My head even turned to the side a little bit. All right. And the correct answer is, drum roll, please. A. It's in a personal attack. Of course, I mean, y'all, I about hurt myself because I tweaked my neck putting the attitude into it. Of course, you promote Small Business Saturday because you own a clothing boutique. You see it? I'm attacking that person just because they own a clothing boutique. You know, I mean, yeah, they own a clothing boutique, but they probably got into it because they support other small businesses. But we're attacking them because they own a small business. Now, this one wouldn't be where we would make a hasty generalization because we're not making it about like a larger group of people. Now, if you said all small business owners promote Small Business Saturday because they want to help themselves, that would be a hasty generalization. Circular reasoning, well, I mean, this one wouldn't really be circular reasoning because it's not saying small business owners promote Small Business Saturday, kind of like that. It had a little bit more oomph to it. And then appeal to authority, there was no authority being listed or provided. All right. Now, this is a little bit different type of question, and it's all together because I was really running out of space here. So, access to quality education is a fundamental right that should be provided to every individual, regardless of their socioeconomic background. Education plays a crucial role in personal and societal development, empowering individuals to reach their full potential and contribute to the progress of society. By ensuring equal access to education, we create a more just and equitable society for all. What is the primary claim presented in the passage? So remember, primary claim is going to um be what argument are they making? Through you, if I make comment on others, it would be a hasty generalization. Yes, if you talk about a group in general, that would be a hasty generalization. Yes. All right, so would you say the primary claim is A, access to quality education is a fundamental right? B, education plays a crucial role in personal and societal development? C, equal access to education creates a more just and equitable society? Or D, education empowers individuals to reach their full potential? Oh, I'm so glad that helped, YouTube. All right, so what would you say? All right, ready? And the correct answer was C. Now, A, oh, I see where you put both of them. Yeah, A does look pretty close. Access to quality education is a fundamental right. Now, be careful because that is what we call an introductory detail. And oftentimes, I will see that students get that mixed up as being the primary claim. But the introductory detail, what that's doing is it's kind of setting the stage for the primary claim to come. A is quality work. I'm not quite sure what you mean there. Can you elaborate on that? But A does because it does say access to quality education is a fundamental right. But again, that's an introductory detail. It's setting the stage because it says should be provided to every individual regardless of their socioeconomic background. But then we see down here by ensuring equal access to education, we create a more just and equitable society for all. So that's the outcome. Oh, I see what you mean there. Oh, good. I'm glad that helps. Yeah, I tell you though, those introductory details, and that's why I tell students in my freshman comp class, be careful when you're creating your introductory details because you do want to have something that sets the stage. Mm-hmm. And it needs to relate, if we're doing like an argumentative paper, it needs to be something that sets the stage to support that claim. Um, So, someone on Instagram just asked, where do I learn these small subtopics? So, that's a great question. I don't know. I think you just joined in a little while ago, so you didn't see my QR code sheet, maybe. I do have that coming up at the end of the slides, so you can take a screenshot. I have a link, and it'll take you to what we call the on-demand videos, and that is where you can go in and you can look at subtopics, and you can actually go to the timestamps for a particular subtopic. So maybe you don't really want to focus on inferences, but you want to look on analyzing an argument. Well, you can actually click on that timestamp and it'll take you right to it. And it gives you notes. But I have a QR code coming up for that. Oh, well, I'm glad that helped. I hope it helped others. Let's try another one. Oh, no, I don't have another one. I'm sorry. I just lied. Oh, psych, just kidding. Um, I knew we were running out of time, I guess. So, but like I said, go check out the Q Bank because I have quite a few that have, if you're really looking for trying to practice your time management with longer passages, make sure to check out the Q Bank because I have some in there that are based on multi-paragraph passages. So that might be super helpful to you. Okay. And I also have some that focus on, this one focused on the primary claim, but I also have some that focus on secondary claim because guess what? That is a question I've seen too. And then also, what's the counterclaim? So if you've not practiced those before, make sure to go check out the key bank. Unfortunately, we just didn't have enough time to do such a wide variety tonight. All right. So this last section, analyze and incorporate, this is 3.4. This one's looking at different data sources, ver, different sources, not incorporating data from different sources. So this could be visuals. This could also be written, and I have a ton of those because students always seem to want more of those. So I've put a ton of those in QBank. But I've got a lot of charts for tonight because that was the request that students had, was I want to see it in the charts. So let's take a look at this. Oh no, don't hold on. Let me pause my screen. Well, I think Instagram I can't even pause you, so y'all just cheat for a minute. Why did my... I deleted the wrong thing out of there, that's why. Alright, hold on. We're going back. Oh, there we go. Okay. But did you see the correct answer? I tell you. Alright, so what is the trend? What trend is shown in the graph? Well, it says above, but it's beside. Beside. Is it A, electric car sales remain constant between 2018 and 2022? So we have to go down here and look at our years. Is it B, electric car sales decreased every year? C, electric car sales increased significantly each year? Or D, electric car sales peaked in 2019 and then declined? All right, so take a second, look at that chart. Let me know what you think. And hopefully you didn't see that answer that I just flashed for everybody. All right, last call for answers. What do we get? And that's the wrong way. It is C. Good job, everybody. So we see that electric car sales increase significantly. Yes, they continue to rise, rise, rise. By checking them, constant between 2018 and 2022. So 2018 was here. Why is that just right there? So 2018 was right here, but then 2022 we go over and it has grown substantially to this point. So it did not remain constant, did not stay the same. Oh yeah, they like to turn the axis on those question types. Yeah. You know what? Thank you for saying that because I'm gonna throw that into some practice ones too at some point. All right, let's look at this one. I didn't do the answer on this one. Which age group spends the most time on screens each day according to the graph? Is it A, 8 to 12, B, 13 to 18, C, 30 to 44, or D, 45 to 60? All right, and the correct answer is B. Good job, everyone. Any questions? All right, let's take a look at, I think I got one more. Yep, this is the last one. All right, so which of the following best describes the relationship between the inputs and outputs of photosynthesis as shown in the diagram? Is it A, sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide are used by the plant to create oxygen and energy? Is it B, oxygen, water, and carbon dioxide combine to form sunlight? Or is it C, water and oxygen are absorbed through the plant's roots to create glucose? Or D, carbon dioxide and oxygen are both released by the plant as waste products? So, what would you say? Well, hello there, Facebook. All right, last call for answers on our last question of the night. Okay, the correct answer is A. Great job, everyone. Sunlight, right here. Water, up here. And carbon dioxide are used by the plant to create oxygen and energy. Okay, so we can see that it's releasing it. All right, so any questions? Yes, you would look at the arrow to see what it's producing or intaking. Yep. That's why I like, because you can see like carbon dioxide, it's an intake. Okay, I will make sure. I don't know if you have access to our Q bank, but I will go in and I'll make sure to see if there are some that are added with those inverted, because I know exactly what you're talking about. So I'll make sure that there's some in there for the Q bank. All right. So, I know someone was asking about how to get to those subtopics. That was right here with those on-demand videos. If you have an iPhone, I would suggest taking a picture, a screenshot of this, and then you can just click right into the QR code from there. Let me make sure, see what any other questions are that came through. Was there one on YouTube? So, what is rhetorical context? So, that's where uh it's the reason why you have rhetorical context is um why are you communicating? So is it information? Is it to inform? Is it to persuade, entertain? Free trial for question banks is how many days? Oh, hold on one second. Let me go. Let me just take my screen and I'll take you over to our website. So you can go here, and this is where we got all of our links to QBank, on-demand videos, SurePass, SurePass Pro. If you go to the QBank page, let's see. See, we got 1,900 questions now. He's got to update our graphic. Um, let's see. What was the question? Oh, I should know this off the top of my head, but um, my brain is a little eh. Here we go. So this is what you're wanting to know. So 7 days, the free one, you get 7 days. And then this one just shows you like, oh, I went the wrong way. Like if you go to the $30 one, that gets you the QBank for a whole year. And then we've got like the on-demand videos over here. So that one that you don't have the free trial with, but for $29 you get the 90 days, and then for $40 or $39 you get the 365. SurePass, that's going to give you a discount on QBank and the on-demand videos. So if that's something you're wanting to practice and get some of those subtopics covered, you can get 30 days for $29, 39. So you can see the discount. It takes off pretty much like 20 bucks. And then the SurePass combo for 180 days, that's where you start to get your really big bang for your buck. And then the SurePass Pro, this is the one I was talking about. So this is the one where you get the access to the QBank, the on-demand videos, and you get a free mentoring session, and you get those notes and stuff included. So that's like a free tutoring session. All right, any other questions? All right. Well, I hope you guys had a great night. Thank you so much for joining in. It was such a pleasure. Some of you are new, and it was such a pleasure to see some new names. It was great seeing some returning names. I will be back next week. Let me actually just go back to my webinar because, again, my brain is mush because it's so late where I'm at. Nope. Webinars. Here we are. So that's tonight. Tomorrow night, we got Brandon. He's up on the math. Friday, is it Friday? Yeah, Friday. Morgan's up on science. And then I'm back next Wednesday. And then next Thursday, I have an English. All right. Oh, any notes? No, those are included on the on-demand now. What plans should we get? Well, it really is whatever is best for you, what you're looking for. I personally, just looking at the pricing of everything, because I don't know about y'all, but I'm always trying to get my bang for my buck. I mean, I budget everything. I think the SurePass Pro is the best way because it gets you access to a little bit of everything. And like I said, you can kind of customize how long you think you're going to study. So you can kind of see like um what would work best for your budget. How do you rewatch the webinars? So that's a great question. So that's right here on this QR code. So take a shot of this. That QR code right there will get you access to rewatch the webinars. And then, hold on, I'm trying to scroll, but it's not letting me for some reason. I think somebody else had a question. Let me zoom out. Nope, that's not it. Oh, okay. Okay, I think I got everybody. All right. So yeah, make sure to take a screenshot of this. Check out those bundles because I'm telling you guys, like, seriously, I'm not even just trying to sell it. I'm trying to look out for you. A discount is where it's at. All right. Any last questions before we call it a night? Oh, you're welcome. All right, then. Let's see. Can I find these QR codes somewhere else? I don't think we have them posted on our webpage. Um, but I can, well, let's see if I can I pull it out? Let me see if I can pull it out really quickly. Mm, Nope, it's not letting me pull it out. I'm sorry. But if you can't take a screenshot, yeah, so if you can't take a screenshot, try emailing freenursing at Archer Review. I'm gonna give you that email address so you can see it and write it down. Email him and he can send you the QR codes for sure. There it is right there. There's our email. I wish I could pull it out. It's not letting me pull it out and post it in the chat boxes. But we do have a lot of links to them on our website as well. Question bank is for practice, not for on-demand videos. Right. So the question bank is the actual practice questions, and then the on-demand videos, that's where you get those subtopics covered and you get notes. Oh, awesome. Okay, so if you screenshot it, I don't know if you're on an iPhone. Are you on an iPhone by chance? On Facebook? Okay, so go back to your photos and go to that screenshot you just took. And then hover over the QR code. I swear this works. I've done it before. Hover over the QR code and it should activate. Actually, I'm going to try it right now here with you. Okay, so then I go back to my photo albums. Yep. So it took me a second and I had to really like zoom in and hold on that one. And then it says open up in Chrome for my phone. Oh, yep. And that takes you back to the rewatch. Yep. It takes you right back to the YouTube page. Yep. So try that. Oh, Android. Oh, I do love an Android, but that's the one thing. Okay, so do you see? Oh. So for you on the Android, you've got the screenshot of it, so that way you can go back to your computer and you see that URL link right here. You see that? Type that in on like your Google or like your internet browser, and that should also pull it up. But you got the screenshot, so now you can like you'll have it to refer back to. Does that make sense? It's like crickets. All right. I don't know if you're still there. I don't know if you saw that part or heard me say that part, but yeah, go to the we have them typed out there. You just have to type them into your web browser. So try that if you can't get the QR code to scan. All right. Well, I've got to call it a night, but if you have any other questions, make sure email us pre-nursing at Archer Review and we'll get back to you, okay? All right. Well, you guys have a great night. I hope to see you next Wednesday. We'll be back with the English. And have a good weekend, y'all. You too. All right. I'll see y'all next time.